For some people who have had some conversation, they've read some of your letters, they've heard some of your songs, they've tasted some of your food, they've worn some of your clothes, they've been in your car, they visited your house. They're not married to you, they're not intimate with you, but they've had some brushings with you, some interaction. You know, when you pretend you know somebody who's famous, you've met them, and then you say you know them. You don't really know them. You've met them. But compared to somebody who's never met them, it may seem like you know them. You see how that works? And for some people who say they know God to an unbeliever who knows nothing of God, has never been involved in church or Bibles or anything religious, you may look to them as if you know God, and you don't. You've had some exchange with them. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. Oh, yeah. He's my friend. No, he's not. He's an associate. Someone you see for a few hours at work. Someone that you barely talk to in the office. But for someone who's nowhere near the company, they would say, well, of course you know them. You work with them. No, you work with people you don't know. You see how that works? You've got a Bible. You got a cross around your neck. And someone assumes you know something about God. And it's very unfortunate because they really do assume you know something about God. And if they ever have an interest or some need to become spiritual, they say, hey, man, I know you know something about the Lord. You know, I see you have a Bible. That doesn't mean you know the Lord. Hey, you wear a cross. That doesn't mean you know the Lord, right? If anything, you may know less about the Lord than that person. Because what you've known is something you fashion out of indoctrination, brainwashing, or some religiosity that's not based in really any truism. But again, it's enough for someone who doesn't know God to believe that you may know something. It's amazing how that works. It's those of us who are sincere in our faith. I said sincere, not perfect. Sincere in your faith. Someone who truly has a passion and a love, an interest in the things of God. You may know something. And you may know a lot more than someone who doesn't know anything. And the famous saying goes, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, or how much more there is to know. And the closer I get to Father, the more I realize how less I know about him and how much more there is to know about him. So you can't be too arrogant. The knowledge of God should be making you humbler. As you get closer to God, don't you look a little less righteous than you thought you were last week? As you grow closer to the Lord, don't you look even more filthy? As you grow closer to the Lord, doesn't his glory overwhelm you even more and humbles you even more? See, you get closer to the Lord, you become even more humble, more patient, more truthful. And you realize when you get closer and closer to God that you have to be more trusting because you should increase in your fear of God. Your fear of God should increase. He doesn't become more of a nickname to you where, oh man, we're close now, so you let it all hang out. No, it doesn't work quite that way. Now the closer you get to God, his glory outshines yours. And in comparison, makes you look even worse, realizing how much and how grateful you are that you have God as a friend. The person becomes more valuable to you. People that grow in relationship, the person becomes more valuable to you. Have you been in a relationship and the person has been decreasing in value? There's something wrong with that relationship. In other words, I love you more than I did yesterday, and I need you more today than I did yesterday. I realize just how valuable you are to me. That is supposed to happen with your faith in God, growing and realizing even more so how much more you need him, how much more there is to know about him. You become humbler, kinder, patient, much more forgiving, enduring, an ability to endure, generous and kind, more, not less. Everything is an increasing measure. And then when you finally see, when there is that moment, which none of us know because we haven't died or been resurrected. Even those who die do not get the full breath of God. You know that? That time hasn't come yet. That won't happen until he returns, until we're resurrected, until that new heaven and earth, the fullness of understanding his glory won't be revealed until then. And until then, till then, keep on keeping on.